In a busy clinical hallway or private living room, patient care moves fast. Caregivers adapt instantly to shifting physical demands, unpredictable schedules, and immediate needs. Administrators often attempt to manage this fluidity by drafting exhaustive policy manuals. Agencies spent immense capital on these documents, assuming a rigorous written rule will result in rigorous bedside compliance. This gap represents a structural failure. On the left, a stack of standard operating procedures grows. On the right, uncoordinated tasks occur in the field. The void between them is the execution gap. When caregivers operate inside this gap, agencies face immediate liability. Undocumented incidents and missed medication protocols lead to failed state surveys, legal exposure, and compromised patient safety. Personnel instinctively calibrate their performance to the standard that is actively enforced. If management never verifies whether a rule is followed, the frontline staff will treat that policy as a suggestion rather than a mandate. To close this gap, we will construct a closed-loop accountability system. This framework utilizes leadership principles from the Marine Corps to manage dynamic care environments. Administrators cannot solve field errors by writing longer manuals. Success requires shifting focus towards designing and operating daily enforcement mechanisms. High standards provide the baseline for professional behavior, but they require a mechanical system of accountability to survive daily operations. This system begins with a mandate for clinical directors and operations managers to lead by example. Managers must physically model the exact compliance behaviors and attention to detail they expect from their caregivers. The Inspect What You Expect triad is the engine for the standard, filtering the manager baseline through 3 funnels. Documentation provides the legal record, tracking scheduled versus completed tasks. Performance offers real-time bedside assessment. Finally, client feedback bridges clinical care with customer satisfaction. Managing a remote care team without verifying all 3 of these funnels creates massive operational liability. The primary function of a care manager is to continuously operate and monitor these 3 verification funnels. These concepts must be translated into a rigid weekly management schedule to be effective. Vector 1 involves retrospective analysis through rigorous documentation reviews. The dashboard highlights mismatched timestamps and missing notes in red. Catching minor documentation deviations early prevents them from compounding into major compliance failures or billing errors. Vector 2 requires direct observation via scheduled caregiver ride-alongs. The dashboard allocates specific calendar blocks for these field visits, ensuring they are a permanent part of the weekly cadence. Direct ride-alongs allow managers to assess bedside manner and environmental awareness, details that static paper logs cannot capture. Vector 3 utilizes stochastic audits. These are entirely random, unpredictable spot checks on active shifts. The map interface displays random geolocation pings where these unannounced field checks have occurred. The unpredictability of these audits ensures constant, genuine readiness among frontline staff by removing the opportunity for staged compliance. Interlocking retrospective audits, scheduled observations, and random spot checks eliminates blind spots across the entire care environment. Inspection data has no operational value without a pre-calibrated and strictly enforced response matrix. When audits detect non-compliance, an immediate protocol triggers. The system moves instantly from deviation detection to coaching intervention. Coaching must be executed fairly and without delay, otherwise standards erode. Conversely, when the system detects excellence, it triggers a consistent reward. Consistent positive reinforcement solidifies operational excellence and serves as a critical tool for caregiver retention. Delaying any operational feedback, whether it is positive recognition or a correction, signals that the agency's standards are flexible. Repeated non-compliance require predefined, transparent consequences that are applied consistently across the team. The speed, predictability, and fairness of the response matrix determine the agency's actual operational standard. This is the complete closed-loop accountability system. Every component connects back to the top node, driven by a single force: consistency. Diligent documentation reviews and random field observations continuously feed the response matrix, creating a closed-loop system of quality assurance. Written standards provide only the baseline for legal compliance. The actual standard of an agency is defined by the daily management actions taken to verify and enforce those rules. Your care team will rise to the level of your systemic, unyielding inspections. Consistency is the mechanical force that guarantees operational compliance. Proactive architecture builds a system where high-quality care is the expected result of every shift. This calibration results in a moment of flawless execution, where clinical competence is delivered confidently and without hesitation.